Hello, my dear students. Thank you for joining this online lesson, and this video is for Common Core students. Our unit is Keep Our Environment Clean, and this is the second part of the grammar lesson that we started last time. In the previous video, we talked about the simple past of regular verbs in English. In this part, we will talk about question tags. What are question tags, or what is a question tag? A question tag is a short question at the end of a statement. هو واحد السؤال قصير كيجي في النهاية ديال واحد الجملة. To understand more, let's use this example here. You are a student, aren't you? You are a student, aren't you? So here, this is the statement, and this is our question tag. A statement is a sentence. Statement هي جملة. You have a subject and a verb and complement. And the question tag comes at the end of this statement. وهذا الكويستشن tag جا يعني في النهاية أو لا في الآخر ديال هاد statement. إذا هاد السؤال اللي كيجي في الآخر ديال statement كنسميوه question tag. And we separate the statement and the question tag with a comma. وكنفرقوا statement و question tag بواحد الفاصلة. And it's necessary, هي ضرورية. We should put a comma between the statement and the question tag. Now, the question is, what are the purposes of using a question tag? يعني علاش كنستعملوا هاد question tags? Well, we use question tags to ask for confirmation or agreement. كنستعملوا question tags باش نتأكدوا من شي معلومة أو لا من شي فكرة أو لا باش نشوفوا الآخر واش كيتفق معنا في شي فكرة أو لا ما يعني في واحد الرأي. Let's see the examples. Let's start with confirmation. نبداو بهذا المثال اللي فيه أو اللي الغرض من هذا question tag ديالو هو التأكد. He is a doctor, isn't he? إذن الفكرة عندنا هي هذا الشخص طبيب، أليس كذلك؟ So, we have the idea in mind, but we are not sure. يعني عندنا الفكرة يعني في البال، ولكن لسنا متأكدين من هذه المعلومة 100%. We have the idea in mind, but we are not sure 100% if it is correct or not. That's why we use the question tag, isn't he? That's for confirmation. For agreement, you have this example. She is a nice girl, isn't she? So here we say هي يعني فتاة يعني مزيانة ولا الله يعمرها دار. Isn't she? She is a nice girl. هاد statement this is my opinion. هذا الرأي ديالي. Maybe I am asking this question, okay, my friend or someone, and I want to know his opinion. Okay, I want to know if he or she agrees or not with my opinion. That's why I ask this question. يعني عندي الرأي وبغيت نشوف داك الشخص اللي كنسول واش متفق أو لا غير متفق مع هذا الرأي. Nice. So now let's move to talk about the rules of using question tags. The rules of using question tags. rule number 1. دابا غنشوفوا القواعد ديال استعمال question tags. Let's use the same example. غنستعمل نفس المثال اللي استعملنا في الأول. You are a student, aren't you? So, this is how you should form question tags. هذه هي الطريقة باش خصك يعني تكون واحد السؤال أو تطرح واحد السؤال من هذا النوع. إذن the rule says if or when the statement, this is the statement in green color, هذه هي statement, you are a student, and as you can see it's positive. شنو هي positive? You see the verb are, the verb to be, it's in the simple present and it's in affirmative. It means it's positive. ما فيهش not. Okay? So when the statement is positive, the question tag should be negative. يعني ال question tag خصو يكون negative. خصنا نزيدو ليه not. We should add not to the question tag or to the verb. مزيان. Good. Let's see the opposite. إذن we said the rule says when the statement is positive the question tag should be negative, and vice versa. والعكس صحيح. When the statement is negative the question tag should be positive. إذا كانت statement negative, as you can see here, or not, the question tag should be positive. خصو يكون positive. هذه القاعدة الأولى. نعاودها. إذا كانت statement positive the question tag خصو يكون negative. إذا كانت statement negative the question tag خصو يكون positive. Nice. Let's move. Rule number 2. Here as you can see we have two examples. It's the same example. You are a student, aren't you? So as you can see here, this is the subject pronoun, you. It's this subject pronoun that you use here. هذا السبجكت pronoun هو نفسه اللي كتستعمل هنا. And the verb are هو نفسه اللي كتستعمل هنا are. But here the verb is positive and here it's negative. زدنا ليه not ولا aren't. Okay? But sometimes ماشي ديما كيكون عندك subject pronouns he, she, it, you, we, they. بعض المرات you have nouns. So let me show the rule. For example, Samir is not a teacher. Is he? Yes, for the verb, it's the same verb. So here we have is not, negative, and here it's is. هاد is اللي كاينة هنا هي اللي كاينة هنا. Okay? But for Samir, you can see here we have Samir. Samir is a name of a person. اسم عالم. It's a noun. Okay? But here, what did we use? شنو استعملنا? We used the subject pronoun he. علاش? Because the rule says a subject pronoun replaces the noun to avoid repetition. كنستعملوا subject pronoun بحال he, she, etc. A subject pronoun كي ياخد البلاصة أو لا كنديروه في البلاصة ديال الاسم لتفادي التكرار. For example, we cannot say Samir is not a teacher. Is Samir? This is not correct. يعني إلا عندنا الاسم خصنا نبدلوه بواحد subject pronoun الذي يقابله. بحال مثلا سمير it's he. For example, Nadia she. students, they, etc. This is rule number 2. Good. Let's proceed. Now let's see how do we form question tags. How do we form question tags? We form question tags using verb to be. We form also question tags using auxiliary verbs like to have. We form question tags using modal verbs, and that's what we will see in the coming slides. In this slide we have verb to be. يعني غادي نشوفوا هنايا كيفاش كنشكلوا الكويستشن تاج باستعمال verb to be. And here you have these two examples. The verbs are is. This is verb to be in the simple present. And in the other examples was were. This is verb to be in the simple past. Okay? إذا إلا كان verb to be في simple present غنبداو بالأولى. You are a teacher, aren't you? إذا هنايا عندنا are هو نفسه هو اللي كنستعملوه هنا، ولكن القاعدة كتقول هنا إلا كانت statement positive خص الكويشن تاعك يكون negative. إذا حنا دابا راه بدينا ب negative question tags. Okay? وبدينا ب verb to be. إذا as we can see we have you and here we have you. It's easy. Are, aren't. Okay? Good. هادشي بالنسبة للplural. Okay? Or singular when you use are. Okay? And for singular, for she for example, or he or it, you use the same verb, but here it should be negative because here it's positive. She is a nurse, isn't she? Good. This is concerning simple present. For the simple past it's the same thing, but it's just the verb which changes. إذا نفس الشيء بالنسبة للsimple past, verb to be in the simple past. For example, he was sad. He was sad, wasn't he? Then you see, you have he and you have he here. And was here, but here wasn't. They were shocked, weren't they? So as you can see, we have they, and here were, weren't. Then it's easy, I think. This is concerning verb to be. But there is an exception. هناك واحد الاستثناء بالنسبة للverb أو لا the first person singular I am. الجمل اللي فيهم I am okay ما كنقولوش amn't I. No. Okay? We don't use am. What do we use? We use aren't. Okay? For example, I am happy. Aren't I? Okay? It may sound weird and strange to you, but this is how it's done in English. Okay? هذه هي القاعدة. إذن أكرر. When you have in the statement I am, the question tag is formed using aren't. Okay? Aren't I? Not am. Good. Let's move now to auxiliary verbs or the auxiliary verb to have. Okay? For example, you have finished your meal, haven't you? إذن كيفاش كنديروا الكويشن تاج كنشكلوه في هذه الحالة. إلا عندنا have هذا simple أو لا present هذا الفعل مصرف present perfect. Okay? إذن إلا عندنا have في الجملة هو اللي كنستعملوه في الكويشن تاج هو have. ولكن هنا حيتاش have is have finished is positive حيتاش هو positive. هنايا it should be negative. have كتولي haven't. Okay, you have finished your meal, haven't you? Nice. إلا عندك نيت have ولكن هاد المرة في الباست. Okay, هذا راه الماضي ديال have. هاد التنس هاد الزمن كنسميوه past perfect. Okay, so إلا عندك هاد راه هو نيت اللي كتستعمل ولكن كتزيد ليه not. Okay, she had bought a new phone, hadn't she? Okay, I think it's not that complicated. يعني سهل بسيط. Let's move now to modal verbs. شنو هما modal verbs? Modal verbs are like should, can, must, would, will, may, might, etc. هادو هما المودلز ولا modal verbs في الانجلي. If you have a modal in the statement, for example, can, it's the same thing. You apply the same rule. كتطبق نفس القاعدة. For example, he can speak Chinese. Can't he? هذا كان نيت اللي كتاخد كتزيد عليه not. Okay. إذا النيجاتيف ديال كان هو can't. كون عندنا he could speak Chinese. Couldn't he? نفس الشيء كنزيدو in apostrophe t. Okay. This or the last example using the modal verb must. They must do it. Mustn't they? So it's the same thing. You have must and here it becomes mustn't. I hope you understand the rule because it's very easy. Let's move now to normal verbs. Okay, normal verbs. متبعين معايا مزيان ياك؟ دابا شفنا verb to be. Okay, شفنا verb to be. أنا نرجع لكم كاع باش تشوفوا. ها هو verb to be. في الماضي في simple present وفي simple past. ثم شفنا auxiliary verb to have في simple present أو لا في البريزنت وفي الباست ديالو form. ثم modal verbs. دابا غنشوفوا آخر نوع اللي هو normal verbs الأفعال العادية like to work, to live, to speak, etc. So here you have these verbs in the first two examples. The verbs are conjugated in simple present. الأفعال في هاد جوج الجمل الأولى مصرف في يعني الحاضر. Okay. إذن let's start with number one. You work in that company, don't you? إذن كيفاش كنشكلو خص شوية يعني تردوا البال معايا في هاد النوع normal verbs. إلا عندنا واحد الفعل بحال to work, live, speak, need, live, etc. كنستعملو do, don't ولا doesn't. هادشي في simple present. إلا كان داك الفعل اللي في statement مصرف في simple present راه كنستعملو يا إما don't يا إما doesn't. إمتى كنستعملو don't إمتى كنستعملو doesn't. So كنستعملو don't إلا عندنا pronoun بحال you بحال we بحال they بحال you الآخر بحال etc. إلا عندنا he ولا she ولا it كنستعملو doesn't. إذا غيبان لكم هادشي في هاد المثالين. عندنا you work in that company don't you. فقط مع she و he و it كنستعملو معاهم doesn't. She lives in Taiwan doesn't she. اوكي هاد الشيء الا كان الفعل هذاك الفعل normal verb مصرف في simple present. الا كان مصرف في simple past if the verb is in the simple past like the verb to buy. He bought a new car. Didn't he? إذا إلا كان الفعل مصرف في simple past كنستعملو في الكويشن تاغ didn't. صافي. هنا فيه جوج don't و doesn't، وهنا الفرق راه بينت لكم هو في البروناون. إلا عندنا البروناون هي شي it في الجملة في statement راه doesn't. الآخرين راه كتستعمل معاهم don't. في simple present كاينين جوج don't و doesn't. simple past كاين غير واحد مع الآخرين، مع كل شيء، مع كل subject pronouns he she it we you they. إذن he bought a new car didn't he. كون عندنا مثلا هنا you bought a new car didn't you. they bought a new car didn't they. وهكذا ذلك. Okay? Nice. Now let's move to negative question tags. هادو كاملين اللي دوزنا سميناهم لا it's كاين خطأ هنا. إذن هنا ماشي negative question tag، ما رديتش البال. هادو اللي دوزنا كاملين هما negative question tags. دابا غادي نشوفو positive question tags، وعاود تاني غنبداو verb to be. verb to be when it is conjugated in simple present and when it is conjugated in simple past. إذن هنا العكس. دابا غنشوفو positive question tags. كتكون statement دابا negative فيها نوت. إذن إلا كان الفعل verb to be مصرف في simple present بحال هذا المثال you aren't a teacher are you. إذن هنا عندنا you، ولكن هنا عندنا she. okay. إذن نفس الشيء you it's here and are the verb. here it's are not but here it's are positive question tag. You aren't a teacher are you. good. for he and she and it كتكون عندك is. she is not a nurse is she. he is not a doctor is he, etc. Now if you have the verb to be in the simple past, let's see this example. He wasn't sad was he. okay, so he and he you have it here, and was it's here, but here it's negative and here it's positive. And this is for singular. For plural you have they weren't shocked were they. Then you have they it's here, and were, but here it's weren't negative and positive. They weren't shocked were they. lovely. Let's move to the other cases. Auxiliary verb or to have. The auxiliary verb to have. إلا عندنا دابا في الجملة auxiliary verb to have راه نفس الشيء نفس القاعدة، غير هو هنا كنقلبو. هنا هاد الستيتمنتس negative هاد المرة، وعندنا positive question tags. إذن you haven't finished your meal. إذن you see haven't have not. have you. she hadn't bought a new phone had she. هادو راه نفس الأمثلة اللي استعملنا مني كنا كنهضروا على negative question tags. هما اللي استعملت نيت ورديتهم، رديت هاد statements negative والquestion tags positive. she hadn't bought a new phone had she. إذا كتلاحظوا عندنا she and hadn't ولات had. okay nice. For the modal verbs should, can, must, would, etc. we have he cannot speak Chinese. can he كان تخلصوا غير من not وفقط. they mustn't do it. must they. it's the same thing. nice. let's move to normal verbs. normal verbs. For example, here again it's the two examples the are in simple present, and this example here is in simple past. So when you have a normal verb, but this time the statement is negative. This is the verb to work and here to live. But because it's in the negative form, we use this modal verb, this auxiliary verb to do. إذن هنا باش نزيدو هاد نوت في الجملة خصنا أو استعنا بهذا الفعل المساعد to do، يعني في البريزنت ديالو اللي هو دونيت. اوكي، بالنسبة لهاد الضمائر بحال I بحال you بحال we they، ولكن he she it كيكون does. إذن هنا باش نزيدو أولا باش نردو statement negative زدنا نوت لداك do و does ولات don't و doesn't. إذن number one, you don't work in that company do you. إذن don't كتولي do and doesn't كتولي does. She doesn't live in Taiwan does she. Good. هذا simple present. Simple past, he didn't buy a new car did he. هذا يعني نفس الشيء، استعملنا هاد الauxiliary الفعل المساعد to do، ولكن حيتاش هاد الجملة في الماضي simple past خصنا نصرفو داك، ما كنصرفوش الفعل الرئيسي، كيبقى في هادشي اللي قلنا في يعني في الدرس الماضي. الفعل كيبقى في الانفينيتيف اوكي بلا تو، وكنصرفو هاد الاوكسيلري فيرب. اذا حيتاش هذا simple past، السيمبل باست ديال هذاك الفعل اللي هو to do الفعل المساعد هو did. اوكي، وزدنا ليه not ولات didn't. اوكي، إذن he didn't buy a new car did he. Nice. Now let's see exceptions الاستثناءات دابا. Okay, إذن we have to pay attention with I am. We already talked about this. ديجا يعني شرحت لكم هذه القضية الأولى. number one I am، ملي كيكون عندك I am إذن الكويشن تاعك كيكون aren't I. Okay, we don't use am. Good. For number two الجملة if it has this one there هناك there are a lot of students at school هناك العديد من التلاميذ في المدرسة. اوكي، إذن هاد there اللي كنستعملو في الآخر. اوكي، aren't there are a lot of students at school aren't there. Good. Number three الجمل اللي فيهم let's. اوكي، let's go now يلا نمشيو دابا. اوكي، إذن let's كتولي shall we. let's becomes shall we. let's go now shall we. Good. Let's move to these demonstrative pronouns. هادوك نسميهم demonstrative pronouns. this that these those. this and that هادو سميتو هادو singular. these those plural. this is singular. the plural of this is these للقريب. okay, and that is singular and the plural of that is those for the للبعيد. okay, for example this is your father's car isn't it. إذن في البلاصة ديال this و that كنديرو it بجوجهم. إلا كانت this is your father's car كتولي isn't it. ونفس الشيء إلا استعملتي that is your father's car isn't it. this كتستعملها ملي كتشير الطوموبيلة ديال ديك الطوموبيلة إلا كنتي قريب لهاد الطوموبيلة وكتشير ليها بيدك. اوكي، ودات كتستعملها إلا كانت بعيدة وبغيتي تقول هاديك يعني السيارة ديال الأب ديالك. اوكي، إذن this و that كيوليو it. for these and those these become they. These كتولي they. And those also. وتا those. These are your books, aren't they? Those are your books, aren't they? Good. إذا these and those كنستعملو في بلاصتها they إلا بغينا نشكلو ال question tag. That's good. So this lesson is easy, isn't it? إذا شفتو this. Okay. It became it. Okay. And you have is, isn't. This lesson is easy, isn't it? Yes, it is. Good. So thank you so much for following. I hope you understood the lesson. I will post the exercises of this lesson on my Facebook page, and I will send you other exercises if need be on WhatsApp. Thank you.